It's a chilly October night in 1985. 27-year-old Danny Meyer stands in the half-empty Union Square space, watching the hired chairs line up awkwardly against cracked brick walls. He's got one shot at this, a restaurant with heart in New York City's fierce dining jungle. But will his radical idea of hospitality survive the savage competition? The secret isn't food or location, it's something far deeper, and it shocks the industry's old guard. What is it? Let's pull back the curtain. Danny's big break wasn't a hot dish or a prime address. It was flipping the hospitality script, starting with his own team. Why does putting employees first rock the whole restaurant world? In 1985, Meyer risked it all by investing in his back-of-house and front-of-house teams before anything else. He made it clear, employees come first, guests second. At Union Square Cafe, this meant more training, respect, and shared ownership. A cook named Chris heard this firsthand, and it transformed his commitment from clock punching to craft devotion. Imagine hospitality as a garden, not a machine. You don't just press buttons and hope for output. You nurture soil, water roots, and cultivate blooms. Danny's insight was hospitality grows best when the people who deliver it are genuinely cared for. It's less assembly line, more ecosystem where support feeds service. The payoff was electric and unexpected. When staff feels valued and safe, their energy infects guests. Union Square Cafe quickly became a neighborhood jewel, not just for great food, but for an infectious warmth. Guests didn't just visit, they talked about the place like it was theirs, building trust and unstoppable repeat business. Forget sky-high rents and city buzz. Meyer's secret was seeing context, not just location, as king. He turned humble places into cultural landmarks by selling an experience, not just proximity. When Union Square Cafe opened, the area wasn't the polished hub it is today. Danny turned the neighborhood's gritty vibe into a feature, mixing local artists, familiar faces, and raw authenticity. Patrons didn't need perfect streetscapes. What hooked them was feeling embedded in a vibrant, real place. Meyer compared context to wearing the right glasses. You don't just see a location, you experience its mood and meaning. The right context frames every guest interaction, turning a meal into memory. It's why two restaurants serving the same dish can feel worlds apart. This contextual magic produced shared ownership. Patrons started talking about the restaurant as if it was their own. That kind of belonging fosters trust, and trust, Danny shows us, is currency. It powers fanatical loyalty and free word of mouth that no ad budget can buy. In a cutthroat industry, Danny's generosity wasn't naive, it was tactical. Giving first, whether with goodwill or extras, opened doors his competitors slammed shut. How does generosity become a winning strategy? Meyer tells the story of a snowy night when a guest forgot her wallet. Instead of the usual firm policy, staff covered her bill without blinking. Weeks later, that woman brought her entire office team back, loyalty born of one simple act of trust and generosity. Think of generosity as casting pebbles into a pond. Each generous act ripples outwards, coming back in waves. Not only do guests remember it, but your team becomes inspired to pay it forward, creating a culture where goodwill powers growth and resilience. But generosity isn't blind. Danny stresses knowing your core like a compass. When values clash, it's better to quit than dilute your mission. This clarity protects your culture, guiding when generosity strengthens your brand and when it might actually harm it. Back in that chilly night of '85, Danny Meyer could have just opened another generic restaurant. Instead, he dared to turn hospitality inside out, starting with his people, welcoming context and radical generosity. Those weren't just nice ideas, they became a playbook for success in fierce NYC. So next time you try this, think who you're really serving and start with your team. That's your first seat at the table. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.